Lagos State government intensifies capacity building with third quarter training programs. House of Representatives approves $347 million for Lagos Calabar Highway, other projects. On the foreign scene, India, United Kingdom signed £6 billion trade deal. And in sports, former Super Falcons striker Okparanuzie backs Nigeria to beat Morocco in 2024 AFCON final. And now the details. I am Akan Usen. As part of its ongoing commitment to professional excellence and improved service delivery, the Lagos State government has rolled out a series of intensive training programs for various cadres of officers in the state public service for the third quarter of the year. The initiative, which demonstrates the state government's strategic investment in human capital development, has witnessed the successful holding of distinct training programs for over 500 officers across key sectors. To this end, training workshops were held for 100 public affairs officers on grade levels 13 to 17, 200 budget and planning officers, while 200 land officers benefited from a robust training on land documentation and titling, in a move aimed at strengthening land administration, improving transparency, and accelerating the processing of certificates of occupancy and other land-related documentation in the state. Commenting on the significance of the initiative, Commissioner for Establishments and Training, Afolabi Ayotayo, noted that the Lagos State Public Service must remain dynamic, agile, and responsive to evolving governance demands. He stressed that the capacity-building efforts are not merely periodic events, but deliberate and strategic interventions to equip public servants with the skills and mindset required to deliver efficient service. In its proactive efforts to promote a healthy workforce, the Lagos State Universal Basic Education Board, LASUBEB, has concluded its 2025 annual health checks with over 300 members of staff benefiting from a free full blood count FBC tests. The two-day event featured free blood pressure checks, glucose screening, and full blood count testing as part of LASUBEB's broader strategy to promote and sustain the well-being of staff within the basic education sector. As part of the activities, members of staff also participated in a health awareness walk on the final day, reinforcing the importance of physical fitness and overall wellness. Speaking at the event, Executive Chairman of LASUBEB, Hakim Shitu, emphasized that the theme, Healthy Blood, Healthy Life, Why Blood Count Matters, was more than a slogan, saying it is a vital call to action. He reiterated that Governor Babajide Sanwo-Olu's administration remains fully committed to the physical, mental, and emotional well-being of the workforce in Lagos State, especially within the basic education sector. The Lagos State chapter of the All Progressives Congress APC has congratulated Professor Nentawe Yilwada on his emergence as the national chairman of the party. The Lagos APC, in a statement signed by its spokesperson Sheye Oladejo, describes Yilwada's elevation to this leadership position as a well-deserved recognition of his unwavering commitment to the party's ideals, his impressive credentials as a technocrat and public servant, and his long-standing contributions to democratic governance in Nigeria. It expresses confidence that under Yilwada's leadership, the APC will experience renewed unity, strategic direction, and grassroots re-engagement, all of which are crucial for consolidating the gains of the President Bola Tinubu-led administration. The Lagos APC pledges its full support to the new national chairman and the National Working Committee as they take up the vital responsibility of steering the party towards greater internal cohesion and electoral success at all levels. It commends the party's leadership for ensuring a seamless transition and affirming the APC's commitment to internal democracy, excellence, and accountability. And now to the rest of the stories. The House of Representatives has approved President Bola Tinubu's request to the National Assembly seeking approval to borrow $347 million under the 2025 to 2026 borrowing plan. Speaker of the House of Representatives, Tajuddin Abbas, read the president's correspondence on the floor of the Green Chamber during plenary. According to the president, the loan is necessary due to a rise in funding needs for the Lagos-Calabar Coastal Highway project, with the cost increased by $47 million from $700 million to $747 million. Justifying the loan request, the president said that when the borrowing plan was transmitted to the parliament, the lead arranger for financing only had financing commitments of up to $700 million from lenders, stressing that the shortfall in the financing was covered by export credit agencies. He noted that $300 million is needed for the Nigerian Universal Communications Access Project, a landmark telecommunications initiative aimed at bridging the digital divide through the deployment of 7,000 telecommunication towers across hard-to-reach rural dwellings. Ogun State Governor Dakwa Abiodun has charged 550 newly recruited operatives of the Amotekun Corps to be committed to service and uphold the ideals of community policing as part of efforts to strengthen the state's security architecture. Speaking during the passing out parade of Batch E operatives held at the NYSC Orientation Camp in Shagam, the governor, who was represented by his deputy Noimot Salako Oyedele, said the recruitment aligns with his administration's commitment to protecting lives and property. The governor said the addition of security operatives to the State Security Network Agency is in line with his administration's sustained investment and commitment to protecting the lives and property of every citizen. Abiodun urged the officers to see the passing out event not as a mere ceremony, but as a commitment to safeguarding lives across the state. And now to foreign news. Indian Prime Minister Narendra Modi has signed a free trade deal with British Prime Minister Keir Starmer in a multi-billion-pound export boost. UK cars and whiskey will be cheaper to export to India, and Indian textiles and jewellery cheaper to export to the UK under the agreement. The deal took 3 years to reach and also commits to a new Indian-UK plan to tackle illegal migration. Opponents had warned the deal could undercut British workers due to extended social security terms, but UK Business Secretary Jonathan Reynolds said this was completely wrong, and Indian workers on temporary secondment to the UK will get the same deal already offered to many other countries. Starmer said the deal will create more than 2,200 British jobs across the country as Indian firms expand their operations in the UK and British companies secure new business opportunities in India. And now sports. Former Super Falcons striker Desiree Okbarnozie has backed Nigeria to beat Morocco in the final of the 2024 Women's Africa Cup of Nations. Morocco and Nigeria will battle for the ultimate prize at the Olympic Stadium in Rabat on Saturday. It will be a repeat of the semi-final meeting between both countries 3 years ago, in which Morocco won 5-4 on penalties. The host nation will be gunning for their first ever title, while the Super Falcons are targeting a record-extending 10th title. Okbaranozie is rooting for the team to emerge victorious this time around, commending the quality of football on display at the tournament in Morocco. The 31-year-old declared that the tournament has reflected the growth of women's football in Africa. And that's all for the news. At 4, maintain adequate distance from the vehicle ahead of you to avoid collision. You can follow us and like all our various social media platforms on X at Traffic Radio 961, Facebook Lagos Traffic Radio 96.1 FM, Instagram Lagos Traffic Radio 961, on YouTube at Traffic Radio 961. Visit our website on www.trafficradio961.ng. You can also listen to Lagos Traffic Radio 96.1 FM live on My Lagos app for timely updates. Did you know that the Sanwo-Olu administration instituted 1 billion naira tourism palliative for operators of the sector to cushion the effect of COVID-19 on their businesses. You can get more details on the Lagos State government website. To end the news, here are the highlights of the major stories. As part of its ongoing commitment to professional excellence and improved service delivery, the Lagos State government has rolled out a series of intensive training programs for various cadre of officers in the state public service for the third quarter of the year. The House of Representatives has approved President Bola Tinubu's request to the National Assembly seeking approval to borrow $347 million under the 2025-2026 borrowing plan. We also told you that Indian Prime Minister Narendra Modi has signed a free trade deal with British Prime Minister Keir Starmer in a multi-billion pound export boost. And in sports, former Super Falcon striker Desire Akan Usen has backed Nigeria to beat Morocco in the final of the 2024 Women's Africa Cup of Nations. For contact with the newsroom, please send a message to info@trafficradio961.ng. And that ends the news broadcast compiled by Adeswa Ejoyuka. I am Akan Usen. Thanks for listening and please stay safe. Good afternoon.